So another one of the things that I did while I was doing my PhD, which delayed the completion of the PhD, was I got hired to do a research study on the status of women in Canadian theatre. There had been a report done in 1982 by a woman named Rina Fraticelli. There had been a few piecemeal things here and there, but no national report. I researched the status of women in Canadian theatre and was completely horrified and shocked at the results. We've released this report called Adding It Up, the status of women in Canadian theatre. We took a lot of statistics, and you have to understand that at that time all of our stories were anecdotal. Women would say there's a problem here, there's underrepresentation, there's harassment, there's this, there's that, and people would say, yeah, that's just your experience, and it would be completely dismissed. So this is why the number counting started. So we went out and went, okay, let's figure this out, let's get some stats, let's see, where are we really at? And we had Fraticelli's 1982 report to compare, and we found that there had been marginal increases for sure, but at the start of the new century, the 21st century, that women had not cracked, and still to this day in 2017, have not cracked the 35% marker. So this is in all key creative positions, as artistic director, especially as playwrights. They're really at the bottom of the scale. There used to be lots of reasons for that people would put out. For example, there aren't as many women playwrights as there are men playwrights. Well, now that I work for the Playwrights Guild, I've done that statistical accounting, and I know that that's not true. In fact, women are in the majority of the members. The Playwrights Guild, I think it's not quite 51%, but almost. So fairly even. And every year we do an annual production survey now. So we look at all the shows that have been produced in Canada, and we look at the gender of the playwright, and we count those up. So yeah, if we take account of all plays in Canada, we find that women are about in the 25% marker. 25% of the productions staged in this country are by women. And that's taking your indie theaters and your main stage theaters. So that does also include Shakespeare and stuff like that. If we look only and specifically at Canadian work, then the stat goes up to about 34% depending on the year. Yes, so that report, Adding It Up, that got released in 2006, finally gave us that proof that we needed with statistics, which validated everyone's experiences. It made me think back again to Catherine Marion telling me that I wouldn't be able to make it as an actor with the politics that I had. And then you look at these stats, you're like, oh my God, I mean, this is, yeah. And if you are a woman of color, I must note that the stats are way worse. You're looking at about 3% of the plays and maybe about 5% of the directing. So yeah, not a very healthy situation in that respect. But all this feeds into my later work. I ended up teaching for about a decade and loving the teaching and loving the students, but hating the university system and what's happening there and where it's going, right? The colleges are on strike right now for good reason. That's still going on. And I ended up getting a job here at the Playwrights Guild. And my boss, Robin Sokolowski, was pretty smart. She knew that I had a passion for feminism and gender studies. So she proposed an idea one day and said, why don't you do some kind of gender-related project through the Playwrights Guild? Should I get into all of this now?